Wow. How cool. Roxanne, for a seat, girl.
Yeah,
Okay, well, I get the privilege of starting this event.
I think are you recording?
Guess you got to be able to hear me. Around my neck. Okay, there we go. All right. Everything looks good right there? Thank you, everybody, for coming. And I guess the first thing I want to say is thank you, Jen, my amazing stepmom, mom, for gathering this together and opening it up so that we have a master nutritionist that's going to be able to share tonight. So I'm thrilled. It's a privilege to be able to have that and be able to garner from that. And I also want to thank the guy that actually got me in this and the guy that actually put this live stream together. And I know I have some long distance people I know watching this, and I love you all. You know it. And they're really important to me out there. And so, yeah, it almost brings tears to my eyes that I get to actually say thank you to my son, Garrett. He's actually the one that put this live stream together, put it together so that we could record this and offer it to other people too. And he's actually the one you'll hear. I'm gonna share how I got in this, but Garrett's the one that got me in this. So thank you so much. The first thing I really want to do in my presentation is thank every single one of you for even considering looking at your health a little bit differently, because that's what I did. I did that. So here it goes. I did that back in June, and I did that. I had kind of made up my mind it was time. I was 243 pounds, and I have been up and down in my life 3 times now. And my journey has always been count the calories back in the 80s. Got that working for me. Then went back up in weight, and then worked on the carbs and the exercise, and that seemed to do it a couple times too. And then, kind of let go of that process. Through all that, I always felt deprived. I always felt, my body always felt like it was missing something. And it was a struggle. Since I've been introduced to this product, Slim, my whole entire body has changed. I'm down just over 40 pounds since June. So I'm averaging about 5 pounds a month. It was 8 a couple months ago, but it's slowed down just a little bit. So I'm adjusting some of the things that I'm doing. I'm adding in exercise. I just started doing that this last week. I'm not very proud of that part. I haven't been exercising from June up until right now. And so just that daily balance that Slim brings every day in your blood sugar levels, it's an amazing product to me. I have no joint pain. I had major joint pain. One of the things that really kind of pushed me into making a decision was I was caretaking for my grandmother. And my grandmother's about my size, height-wise, and I'm a little bit bigger build, but we wear the same shoes. I'm wearing a brand new pair of tennis shoes that she left. She recently passed. But I was caretaking for her at the end of her life. And I really looked at myself, and then I looked at her struggling in the end of her life, and she was definitely her weight was up there. And I think some of those things, if they were a little bit different, she may have enjoyed those last years a little bit better. So it inspired me. That was one thing that inspired me. Okay, it's time. And another thing she said to me was, as I was helping her in her complete immobile condition, and she relied on hanging on to me. And she said, "You're so fat. I can't. There's nothing to hang on to, Kim." So she said to me, right? So she couldn't grab onto the bones. She couldn't get the leverage off of structure because it was just too smooth there, right, to hang on to. So I won't forget it. I laughed, but I took it pretty serious. Then Garrett had already kind of reunited, been back in our life, and I was near him every day, and he shared this product with me and said, "You know, Kim, this is something that you might really like. I know a lot of people that have had some really great success with this personally." And so I was very busy, extremely busy in my other business, extremely busy not making any money, my other business. I'm going to throw that in there. But I told him, I said, "Okay, here, you get started in that. You buy the bulk pack, and I'm going to try your product." So I did, and I faithfully took that every day for 2 months. Didn't look at I don't own a scale. I don't have a scale in my house. I didn't look at the scale at all. But I could tell my clothes were I was feeling great. My clothes were fitting much better. And I was losing weight. And so I told him, I said, "You know, I am feeling great. This is an awesome thing. Get me started on that. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sign up and let's get me going. I can't touch the business. I can't look at that. I have way too much on my plate to even consider it." And I really didn't take it serious at all, because it's just maybe this is just another drink, right? I in the back of my head, this is just another one of those things. So my product came in, and I stayed faithful another 2 months, and I stayed extremely busy. I wasn't looking at the scale, but what I was doing is I had made 2 visits to the doctor's office in that 4-month period of time. So I had Kaiser's records of what was going on in my body and in my weight. Well, sure enough, after 4 months, I was down 35 pounds on their numbers because I don't own a scale. I didn't pay attention to it. I'm stressing that. One of the reasons I'm stressing that is because the product has a 60-day guarantee. They have that in there on purpose, because if somebody doesn't get results, which I feel it's impossible not to get results with the product, they will fully refund your money. And what happens is the general process on losing weight, we're looking for a quick fix. We're looking for something to happen very fast. So we're looking at those numbers constantly. I didn't do that. And that's, I think, a big part of why I was able to experience this, and experience from it being in pain, physically, joint pain, and really overweight for me, and miserable, and really like, okay, I'm not having fun at this point in my life, and I have to do something. I started getting a little bit of numbness in my fingers and on my toes, so I knew something was going to change. Something was going to start going downhill in my physical body. So that's how I found Plexus. That's how I found Slim, and I haven't looked back. By the time I saw the 35 pounds down, and really how I felt, the energy, and I don't have joint pain. I don't have any more joint pain, and my joint pain's gone. With those factors, now I had to share it with people. Now at that point, this was time for me to start sharing it with others, what I was actually doing. My family was watching, and my friends were watching, and then especially my stepmom's watching. And so once we had a dinner right here at the table, and I said, you know, I've been drinking this drink. I have been drinking this drink for 4 months. And her eyes lit up, and she said, what is that? right? Okay, I want to see that. Okay. So then that was the beginning of talking about what I was doing. I hadn't even talked, and that started November 4th. Okay, so it was November 4th. So my weight loss, I'm down just over 40 pounds at this point. I'm down 3 physical sizes, though. So my inches, I've never lost weight like this before. I've never held the structure and then the muscle at the same time as losing the weight. It all went. This time it's a little bit different. It feels much healthier, and it looks better to me. I look better than I ever have, and I'm still losing. Now I'm kicking the exercise in, so that'll probably speed things up. And I have another 40 pounds I want to get down. I have a couple things special that I'll wear a dress Gary gave me at our wedding, on our wedding date. I haven't been in, so that's a goal. There's a couple of goals, but that's one of the things that I really wanted to kind of share in this whole big picture too is you're all out here. And our lives make a difference. This is really why I'm doing this now, because I know now this really makes a difference in people's lives. I've seen it. You're going to hear a little bit about that tonight. And this book is probably one of my most favorite books in the entire world. It's really simple. It's written in kind of like a crazy little almost child format, children's book format. But it's called The Butterfly Effect. And I truly, truly believe this. This is Andy Andrews. I don't know if anybody has ever read any of his books, but he's a phenomenal. I've been to one event of his, and I've seen him speak one time, and he caught my attention. But this book is every single thing that you do matters. You have been created as one of a kind. You have been created in order to make a difference. And you have within you the power to change the world. So I see this as one person at a time because the products can actually do that. They're going to change lives. And what's represented in here right now is a small part. Since November, I started sharing this. Right now, there's over 50 people drinking Slim. And that's not a very long period of time. So remember, my big results, where I can say, oh my gosh, this is amazing, we're calculated in about a 4-month period of time. So I get the privilege, I'm going to go ahead and that's my testimony right now. I get the privilege of bringing out one of our speakers tonight, Aimée Darling. Come on out. Amazing. Oh, great to have you here. Master Nutritionist and Emerald, the only Emerald status in Plexus worldwide in the state of Oregon. And we get the privilege of having her here. It's awesome. All right, now I get to hand this off to you.
I feel like, I don't know, Star Trek-ish. I get to take the special to you. Make sure I do this right? I don't know. Okay, I'm good, right? Okay, I don't usually have to wear something. All right, well, and if we start getting warm, I don't know if it's just me, because I know this is normal, we'll open up that other door. So if you start getting warm, don't not say something, because then you'll fall asleep, and oh my gosh, really? I'm not boring, so don't fall asleep. All right, but I do want to thank you, and Kim, thank you for having me, and Gyneve, and just for, having us in your home. I know when you come to someone's home, it's like, oh, thank you. It's just so nice. And so we drove down, Charmin and I came down from Oregon. We started our trek yesterday, and we are going to be in 5 cities over 5 days. And so it's been really exciting. So let me just tell you a little bit about myself and why exactly it is that a master nutrition therapist would look at a network marketing company. Because I know there's that moment where you go, really? Network marketing? What? And so let me just kind of give you an idea. Now, first, I do want to ask you, so who raise your hands if you're not using Plexus? Raise your hand if you're not using Plexus. Okay, and those of you that are not using the product, will you raise your hand if you've never even tasted it, the pink drink, the famous pink drink? And it's like, the pink drink, you tasted it, you're just not using it. Really? You want to be in the front row with me and not using the product? Okay, that's why. She wants to know more. Okay, All right, so let me just give you a little bit of an eye into my journey. And here's how this comes together. My husband and I, we've moved a lot, and so and some of you know the story if you watch my YouTube videos. And so when we moved to the great state of wet Oregon, we had moved from Las Vegas, and we've lived in Colorado, we've lived in Las Vegas, we've lived in California, we've lived everywhere. And so I pack up my practice as a nutritionist and I start over. I have 2 little kids, and I became a nutritionist because of my son. He was born digestively ill, and it's a hot mess, and his stomach's a mess. Now, I'm that person that is resilient, right? And if you're that person, you never get depressed, you don't gain, lots of weight that you can't turn around and lose. And so every time we'd move, I'd gain that little 10, 15 pounds, and then it'd drop. Well, this amazing thing happened when we moved to Oregon. I got older, and I couldn't drop it. And so I couldn't get rid of that weight. And it was sitting on my gut, and it was sitting on my thighs, and next thing you know, my hormones dropped. And so my thyroid's a hot mess, and and I'm on bioidentical hormones, right? Because I'm a holistic nutritionist, so I believe in all that stuff. I was making my own lotion, I was trying to figure out what was wrong with me, and I couldn't figure it out, and I became truly clinically depressed, and it was awful, and that's not my norm. Well, my good friend, Helen McFadden, she's actually the 2nd diamond, which is the highest position in the company. She and I used to be in a different network marketing company together. And when I left network marketing, I had a very sour taste in my mouth. I never wanted to do it again. I thought it was a joke. I had 15 years of amazing experience, but when I left, I had this much debt, right? And really not a lot to show for it except for this amazing training. So we pinky swore we would never do that again, and that was it. So she started with Plexus. Are you kidding me? Are you really going down that dark road again? And she did. And so it took me about 5 months to even really talk to her about it. She was excited and annoying on Facebook, and my husband unfriended her, and it was just this journey of horrible. And he doesn't understand Facebook, so I had to explain to him that he has put us in a bad spot. She'll know, that we don't have this. Well, in the meantime, I was listening to the testimonials, and I was watching, and I was researching, and I was looking at the ingredients, and I thought, well, I was running when we moved there. I was healthy. I didn't care. I didn't need it. And then, because I was looking at the weight loss side, well, I ended up discovering as I looked at the ingredients, and I'm sure if you're a researcher, you start looking at what's in it, and you go, well, no wonder. And so 20 pounds later, I'm getting ready to go to St. Martin, and I don't fit in my suit anymore. And I was bitter. And so I called her. I actually kind of crawled back to her and said, I want to try that stuff. And she was so gracious, because I don't know that I would have been with how I had treated her. And so I did. I decided, okay, I'm going to give it a try when we come back. And I wasn't really looking for weight loss. What I really wanted was I wanted to feel better. And I was on every holistic thing I could do. And I called my clinic in Las Vegas and said, what do I do? I have this amazing naturopath I'm working with. She knows my hormones. She knows I'm a hot mess. I'm taking every hormone I could get my hands on to get the perfect little combination so I could stop ripping people's heads off and actually live. And it was horrible. And so I started with the product. I started with swim only. That was where I started, and that was it. And what really drew me to the business part of it is I actually wasn't a client. I became an ambassador immediately. And there was a couple reasons. Well, one, I'm cheap, right? So it's the least expensive way to get the product. And that was huge for me. And the other reason is the company. So here's what blows me away. What you have that I didn't have. So I just took these right off the internet because that's where they came from. But Shape Magazine, I don't know if you know this, but do you realize that Plexus Slim is actually the 2nd most popular diet in the United States for 2014? Shape Magazine, right? So we're real, right? I thought we weren't real, and I was thinking, oh gosh, there's no way. I am a nutrition therapist. We don't do those things. Well, I started looking into, well, what's in this? What are the other plans? What works? What's going on? Well, then in last year also, Inc. 5000. We are the 8th fastest privately held growing company in the United States today. We're the 2nd fastest growing company in the health and wellness field. The first fastest, the one that's really growing faster than us, it's a protein powder for weightlifters. Okay, that's not me. That's not you. That's not common America. So when I looked at the company, I said, okay, 1 in 3 people have diabetes. Okay, 1 in 3 people have diabetes. So if that's the case, then I have the product that the masses need, right? And then the second thing I started looking at was, how pure is it? I want to know that I'm not getting something that's going to hurt me. And I want to know that there isn't dye and, you know, synthetic colors and synthetic sugars, and I want to know. So that was the second thing I looked at. I also wanted to know, is it effective? So I saw that some people were losing weight and other people, you know, were doing whatever, but what I really saw was the autoimmune diseases and all of those things that I can't ever say that Plexus is going to heal, because I can't say that, right? They'll ding me, all right? So then the fourth thing I wanted to know, is it affordable? That's big for me. In all the clinics I've ever worked in, when I was working for one of the chiefs of surgeries in Las Vegas, that was huge for me, because what he was prescribing to people was unaffordable to common American people like me. And if you want to lose weight, or if you want to have your, you know, thyroid healed, if you want everything else to work properly, if you want to be balanced, then here. And I was that nutritionist that you went to see that gave you 25 steps. So remove these 20 things, add these $400 of supplements, get these insurance, non-insurance paid tests. And that was me. I was that annoying person. And I didn't know, but it was not effective, because you couldn't keep weight off. You still weren't sleeping properly. You still had headaches. You still were having, you know, anxiety. All those things were still happening, and then it didn't last. And that's what really impressed me about Plexus, because I can pay $34.95 and get my product at cost. It was huge for me, because what people didn't know is that we were getting crushed under private education bills and my son's medical bills, and, you know, trying to buy another home in a market where we lost all our money. And no one knew that my fabulous husband, who could provide for us with no problem, couldn't pay my $1,000 a month medical background, you know, my student loan. I mean, really, I would kind of plop that on him. Let's move to a new area. I don't have a job. Pay this. And so it was just a hot mess. So I looked at the company and I said, okay, I want my product at cost. So here's the thing that we talk about a lot, is the product. So what is it about it that works, and why? Well, let me back up and just tell you whether you want to know or not. Okay? We started off as a breast health company. And how many of us know somebody who's had breast cancer, a man or a woman, right? And so we started off, this is who we are. We're an American-made company. We come out of Arizona, and we started with this kit. Well, this has a 10-year shelf life. And if you're in the least bit business savvy, you know, 10 years. Really? What are you going to do? Well, it's a kit where you can do your own exam for men and women. This kit is featured on the doctors, because it's a kit that's not, you just can't find it in the United States. So this is key for us. And then we had a breast cream. Now, what I want to tell you about the breast cream is it comes in a pump now. It's actually a smaller version of this. And the breast cream is not actually called breast cream anymore. It's body cream. So you don't have to raise your hand, but think about how many of you have skin tags, and you have, you know, the funky, not me, I don't have cellulite, but you know, but oh, that's cellulite. And so all those different things we have. Now, my daughter's a swimmer, and I am not loving that she's in chlorine. So what do we need to be doing is drawing that out, right? So the body cream has 2 key ingredients in it. And I know you all will love this because you're in California, but it has spirulina and it has charcoal. So it's going to draw toxins out. So those impurities in the body, here's what was huge for me, is that like the elbows, the lips, everybody uses it on everything. Oh, and the breast tissue. Well, so it's actually helping to reduce cysts and make them tinier. So we've seen that. I have hundreds of testimonials about that and how they've gone to the doctor, come back smaller. Well, here's the thing you want to know. You can use it anywhere on your body. So we're using it on that little swimmer. But for me, what I love is all the sun damage on the sides of my face from all my California years, because I'm originally from California. We've just been drugged everywhere by that man. And so all that is starting to go away. I have before and after pictures on my site. You can go look. And it's from the fact that you're reoxygenating the skin, and you're giving the body an opportunity to turn over its cells. One of the estheticians on our team, she said, if you'll use this at night and you'll put that on your skin at night, head to toe, wherever, you will find your skin being able to more quickly turn over, and it's drawing toxins out. So where do they go? Well, they slough off with the skin, okay? And that's charcoal. Now, if you're into the gut health arena like I am, you know that one little paperclip size, that's 1 gram of charcoal, can cover a football field in absorption power. So that little bit of lotion you're using, it's everywhere, okay? Doesn't smell, doesn't have anything fake in it, and everything's plant-based, which is huge for me because I'm a plant-based freak, okay? So that's those 2 products. Super simple, wonderful. I can never tell you that our products can be used for children. I can't, because it doesn't have a child's dosing on the side of it. And so that's important to know, but I can tell you that you can pull up testimonials galore from people that are using it with their children, but I can't tell you that you can't. Can, right? Okay. All right. I love our FDA. So here's the thing that is why most people come. So this is why I started. So Slim is simple. Slim, but I will tell you why Slim works. So this is a stick of Slim. Super simple. It comes in a non-transferring pack. So there isn't anything in the packaging that will transfer into the product. Okay. Again, it's plant-based. And when you look at it, it talks a lot about weight loss and curbing of the appetite and triglycerides and your lipid numbers going down. It talks about all of those things on the package. When you turn it over to the back, and you'll also see the 60-day money-back guarantee, right? See, Plexus knows you're going to love it, so they know you're going to feel something. Now, I would say to you from personal experience, if it's a weight loss goal that you have, understand that there's more at play when you need to lose weight than just weight. And if you're a woman, you've got a hormonal issue that's going to take time, okay? Now, if you've ever been on an antibiotic or you've had any kind of things like that, you've got gas, bloat, things like that going on in your gut, I can tell you it's going to take a little bit longer to lose weight because your body is imbalanced from the inside, all right? And I'm actually going to take a minute after we're done recording, which officially, right, so that I can answer some of those questions about your gut. But everything actually stems from the gut. So this little tiny packet was not impressive to me. I thought, well, what's in it? Because I'm really used to doing things in long, drawn-out ways, right? So plant-based, it's pink because it has beetroot in it, all right? So the product is too simple. And again, I thought, why? It's so simple. We're so used to things being complicated. If it's not complicated, we don't think it's good. But I'll tell you from experience, that's wrong because your body is meant to be simple. If you can knock the balance in your body off with something as simple as, using fake scents, it'll knock your hormones off. So why wouldn't it be just as simple to start getting back through those layers? So this is literally it. You put it in water and you shake it up and you drink it. And that's it, okay? It's not meant to be a challenge. Now, I will tell you that because it's not fake, it's plant-based, it won't blend if the water is super cold. If you like to drink it cold, or you want to drink it with a straw, or you want to add a squirt of lemon, or you want to put it over ice, go for it. If you want to drink it in smaller amounts of water because you have acid reflux and you want less water, go for it. You don't have to drink it in 12 to 17 ounces of water like the package says. You literally can come in here and see it's all blended up, except at the very bottom, see, I'm lying to you. It's getting there. It's real. So the plants are not going to just disperse like something that has sugar in it. So the color comes from beetroot. And what makes it balance your sugars is because of the chromium. So if you've ever taken chromium, I have clients of mine that'll say, well, I'm taking chromium. I'm taking Garcinia cambogia. I'm taking alpha-lipoic acid. It's the synergistic effects. And I have seen and watched more people that have struggled forever for whatever health problem they have that don't have those same struggles because it's the synergistic effects. Now, if your body doesn't need to lose weight, it won't. I have a lot of athletes that use this product, but that little inch of fat that's kind of sitting on that muscle that's so beautiful, they work so hard to get, it starts to lessen that. Because what it's doing is it's helping your body support your liver and your pancreas, and it's helping your body to be more efficient in how it uses its sugars, okay? So that chromium is going to balance it out. You can drink too. It's meant to be gentle. It's not meant to be fast. And again, don't we all know that person that did that thing and then they lost all that weight and it was so fast and they were so cute and then it's all back. And it brings friends, always, okay? So just know that when your body is given the opportunity to be gentle, it'll be long lasting, all right? Now, I do hear stories where people are losing 10, 20, 30 pounds quickly, and that's wonderful. But you will hit a taper off point, and then it will start to go in slow. So think about fat like this. Think about in your mind like a paper towel holder, paper towels, okay? It peels. So you lose inches faster than pounds, okay? Because it's getting into that fat. It's not blocking anything. It's actually helping your body to balance. So if you know anything about blood sugar, which I'm sure a lot of you do, it affects your brain, it affects how you use your food, and it also affects your triglycerides. So people that have high lipid numbers, that's related back to their A1C and their blood sugar. If you're a person that's had high blood sugars for a long time, you also have high yeast in your body. And so high yeast is going to stop you from losing weight, okay? So just thinking about that. And it's all gut. It's all through the stomach, and it's through the thighs. Now, for me personally, I lost 9 inches through my stomach. I went from a 14, 16 down to a 6. But from the time I was a 10 to an 8 to a 6, I lost no pounds. It was all inches. And there was no exercise for me because I was not in the beginning. I was so sluggish and so tired. If you'd have said, get out and walk and eat another vegetable, really, I'm going to pop your head off. Because I can't get outside and take a walk and eat another vegetable. It's not happening. I'm a mess. And so that's what was happening for me. And so even the people that are eating really well, that energy, the hot flashes, that's your stevia. So stevia is the way we sweeten the product, okay? And lohan fruit. So you're getting that really good flavor without having anything fake tasting, okay? So it's stevia and lohan fruit. It's chromium, which I explained, and it's Garcinia cambogia. Who watches Dr. Oz? You watch Dr. Oz? He cracks me up. When I worked for Whole Foods, I could tell what he talked about that day because the people would come in looking for some obscure, odd eye of newt from some foreign country, and they all had to have it because Dr. Oz said, and it was like Dr. Yaya, and here it comes. But there's some good information. He's made Americans pay attention. And then there's some stuff you go, really? I can't even find that, okay? And then there's like no dosage, there's no help. I mean, you don't have an ambassador, you have nothing. You're just buying stuff. So he talks about Garcinia cambogia. Well, that hungry feeling that you get that makes you crazy, that looks for that one more bit of this and that one more bite of that, that's Garcinia. Garcinia is going to help that taper so you're not so hungry. Now, if you're a person that's really, you eat fine, you don't have any issues with that, it doesn't tend to affect you. I've watched hundreds of people over the last almost 2 years, and people that need to lose weight, people that don't need to lose weight. And the people that don't, it doesn't affect them like that, okay? It's almost adaptogenic, if you know what that means. It seeks out and finds what it needs to do, and it's a root, and so that's what it does, okay? The last thing is alpha-lipoic acid. So alpha-lipoic acid is why you need to drink a lot of water with this product, because your body is going to start pulling all the toxins out, and that wonderful system that we have of a detox that's natural, that your body was made to do. It's very hard for your body to detox when you're breathing that wonderful, sitting in that lovely traffic we were just discussing, and having that little bit of sugar here and that little bit of this there, and you're breathing toxins, you're drinking toxins, and so it's an overload in your body. So alpha-lipoic acid actually helps pull that out. And when you're drinking enough water, you're getting rid of it. Okay, when you're drinking enough water, you also start losing weight more efficiently. I have seen myself lose 3 pounds by drinking enough water and then not. It's like water. You can't, because it's able to do its job. Okay, there's 30 days in here. What are you going to see in 30 days? I don't know. I'd love to see what you're going to see because I don't know what's going to happen. As far as for me, I started losing weight. I had better energy. I could sleep through the night again. And then by the 2nd month, I started seeing changes in my headaches. And then by the 3rd month, I started seeing changes in just all kinds of like the gut, and then nothing for 3 more months. But you know what nothing was? I came off my bioidentical hormones. I came off my thyroid meds. It took time. I came off my crazy girl meds. Those were fun. And so it was, like the commercial with like the 40 things that are going to happen to you if you take this product. Anyway, I came off those. And so slowly those things started happening. And then in the 6th month, I lost a whole bunch of weight again. So I don't know what's going to happen, But I want to give you the opportunity. Can you help? If you haven't tried the Slim, I would love if you could just give them a taste and pass that out to people. That would be lovely. And you see, it's just all gone. You need to drink it within a half an hour top. This is not a sip all day. And if you don't love the flavor, then change it with something. Okay? It's meant to be light. It's like a berry. Now, for me, I eat dirt and worms. I mean, you know, we don't eat a lot of exciting stuff in my house. And that was really, like, the first time I tasted it, I wasn't 100% sure. I crave it now because it's just so balancing. I have run out. So people ask me this. If I start this, am I going to have to stop it? Okay? Well, it's a balancing product. It's not meant to stop you from doing anything. It's not meant to stop the absorption of nutrients. It's not meant to do that. It's meant to just balance your body because the core of your body is blood sugar related. Okay? And then what it does is by the third day, for me, I'm starting to have sugar cravings in the afternoon. And I wasn't a big sugar person, okay? I was more of a organic chips and salsa every night watching TV person. And that's where that weight came from, all right? So that's that Slim. Now, we live in a microwave society, so most people want to lose weight faster. So the company has a choice, and you can do either Accelerator Plus or Boost. And it's a choice. You're not going to take both. Both of them are again plant-based. They're the only products that have caffeine, okay? If you haven't tried it, try it, all right? It's going to be a choice. Your ambassador will help you, but if you're taking antidepressant meds, then you're not going to go this route because this has 5-HTP in it, which is already helping your body to be more mellow, all right? You're going to go this route. But if you're exhausted and tired and you just need to lose that belly fat, then you're going to go with one of these. You're going to add it. You know, I've taken them, I stopped taking them, I take them, and you know, I see people lose tons of weight with them, without them. I think it's your body. But if you really are wanting to get that going faster, then choose one of these. All right. Now let's talk about block. Block is like, woo, we're so excited about block. And you had brought up a little bit about block. So if you watch Dr. Oz, which we've established many of you have, all right, how's that taste? Like Kool-Aid, right? Like Jell-O, and it's warm. It's warm, so there's not much to it, right? Yeah, like a Kool-Aid. Yeah, I know, it's not bad at all. Honestly, my mom's a nurse. She drinks it with a straw because that's what's worked for her. My husband and I drink it like a shot. We take it like in 3-4 ounces of water. I have a good friend of mine who drinks it with lemon. I have another friend of mine who puts it over ice. But she shakes it up first in a little bit. No one told me this, okay? So I used to mix it with a fork and a cup and then eat the chunk at the bottom because nobody told me. And I mean, I have made all the mistakes, yeah. And you're like, it's so tasty. You know, you're eating your chunks. You're like, that was $2. I am eating the bottom. So I am not doing that. All right, so that's Slim. Simple. I've seen people lose tons of weight and they turn around and they stop taking it and the weight doesn't come back. You're changing your habits. What Slim is actually doing is interrupting your body from that craving of the junk, and it's helping it to burn its fat more efficiently, and it's cleaning up all your systems, okay? Super simple. All right, so this is block. So here's the big deal about block. So I loved block, and then I hated block, and then I loved block, and then I hated block. So block, if you watch Dr. Oz, he talks about two things, and one of them is white kidney bean extract, okay? And the other one is brown seaweed. So if you have a sluggish thyroid, you probably know that seaweed is going to help nourish it. So I had a sluggish thyroid. So this gives me energy. I love block, right? Because I figured out how to use it. And then I made a video about how to use it. You should watch the video because I talk about it. Okay? A lot about food. Because I'm a nutritionist, we talk about food. And so block is going to do this. You go to eat. Now, this is not a license to be a hog. Okay, but let's say you have, you know, your normal day-to-day meal. You can't be on a carb-restricted diet. If you're on a carb-restricted diet, what is this going to do? It helps your body not use all that carbohydrate to sugar. It doesn't let it turn to sugar. So, and that's white kidney bean. This is probably the simplest product we have. It has 2 ingredients, and that's it. It has brown seaweed and white kidney bean extract. So the brown seaweed is going to go into your stomach. You're going to take 1 or 2, and the directions say half an hour before meal. But I have seen everything. So you should work with me, or, you know, work with your ambassador a little bit more as you use that product, because maybe it's an hour before your meal. Maybe it's first thing in the morning with everything you do, and you don't need to separate it. But the directions tell you half an hour before a meal, take 1 or 2, okay? Now, for me, I just take one. I take one, I'm good to go. But we saw a huge change. If you watch one of my videos from December, and then you watch me again now in February, I don't look the same. I look substantially different. I have lost so much more through my body, and that's when I went down another size, was because of block. So block, what it's doing is the seaweed's plumping up. Okay, you getting that concept? Boop. So what happens? You're not as hungry, all right? You're making a little bit better choice. You're eating and you're enjoying, and you're not putting anything foreign in your body, but you're not quite as hungry, all right? The second thing it's doing is the white kidney bean. So think about this. If you eat, when you go to eat any kind of carbohydrate, okay, the carbohydrate breaks down into little pieces, and then your body absorbs it, and it's blood sugar, right? It's sugars. It becomes that glucose. Well, what white kidney bean does is it paralyzes that ability for that to totally break it down. So you're not using it, and it's just passing. It's not hurting you. It's not doing anything. The white kidney bean kind of paralyzes that Pac-Man effect, and your body's not using it. So you're actually using, you're getting plenty of blood sugar, but that extra carbohydrate that your body's not using. Now, if you were running, if you were doing a marathon, if you were doing all that, if you were the CrossFit person, maybe you're using all that. And if you're on a carb-restricted diet, then why are you using block? Because you're not going to get any benefit from it, except for maybe the thyroid. And that was big for me. But when I started, so this is something you would take every day. And I keep it in my handbag, because the number one thing I was running into is my largest meal is probably lunch. And it's usually with somebody I'm training. So I started putting it in my handbag. So when I would get there, you know, hi, take my thing, hi, you know, eat my lunch. And then but I don't know, it feels wonderful. I feel great. And then it's stopping your body from using all the stuff it doesn't need. All right. So that's blocked. So that's your weight loss, excitement, all those things. Talk about vitamin D. Now in Southern California, or in sunny California, does anybody know that if they have really low D? Anybody know? You have low D? Okay, so the scale for D is typically between a 30 and 100 is when you go to get your blood work done, okay? Now D is actually a hormone. It's not a vitamin. It's a hormone. So you have some really, really bad things that'll start happening in your body when you get low. But when we moved to the great state of fabulous no sun, Oregon, my D went down to a 23, okay? And I did everything I could for medicinal effects, right? Large doses. I have access to wonderful practitioners still from my life, from all the doctors I've worked for. And I'm like, you know, 50,000. I got to have IUs. I got drops and sublinguals and, you know, I needed to get that D up, and nothing would raise my D. Well, when I first saw X Factor, I'm used to looking at nutrition supplement labels that are like 50 items, right? Don't you go to Whole Foods, you get the really good one, and the good one has like 3 rows of all the things that are in it? Well, I looked at ours and I said, yeah, there's like 9 things. I'm not using that. And then the next thing you know, I got this D thing going on, and I said, I should probably try that because I'm not stupid. There's aloe in there. And if there's aloe in here, that's a carrier, and it's going to go into your body. So it's going to be absorbed. And if you've ever had a sugar addiction, if you've ever had anything going on where you've got a lot of yeast in your body, you're not absorbing your nutrients the way you should be, because your body's got some gut things going on, some intestinal yuck, all right? So what X Factor is that X Factor is a multi. It has your basics, but it has in it an antioxidant. And it's a black currant from New Zealand. And I'm sure you've seen this on the internet. But black currant from New Zealand is really high in antioxidant value, okay? But if you pair that with something that helps it absorb, which is aloe, it's going to get into your system most likely, right? I can't say that it will, but it's going to give it a good chance because there's great research on that. So I started hearing things on my team. I went to the doctor and I had my eyes tested, and I don't need as strong of glasses anymore, is what one person said. Then someone else said that. Then someone else was telling me that their hair was growing like nobody's business, and my hair doesn't grow for anything. And then somebody else was telling me their nails were growing. And then I found out my D was low, so I thought, okay, I'm going to give it a whirl. So I tried it. Well, you know where this is going. So it's a 72 now because it's absorbing. My nails are crazy. I'm like chopping them all the time, and I'm trying to type, and they're clicking. I've never had that in my life. I can't grow nails or grow hair to save myself. I could go 6 to 8 weeks before I get a haircut, and it would be fine. And now I'm in there going, oh my gosh, It's growing. You don't know me, but my hair is normally really, really short and kind of crazy, and I'm having to let it grow. And this is long for me, by the way, so don't make faces. But it's long. It's the X factor. So the energy for me is huge, and it's 2, right? And you're getting 1,000 IUs of D. It's not a ton, but it's absorbing, all right? So that's your energy, and that's the X factor. All right, so I want to tell you about the pain products. And then this is the 96. I'll tell you why 96 is cool. 96 has individual packets. I am not a fan of buying a drum of protein powder from whatever reputable source you're buying it from. I don't like drums of powder. When I go to the gym, when I go for a run, I want something I can carry with me, right? We're busy. I don't want to be doing all this measuring stuff. It doesn't happen for me. So I love that you get individual packets. You're getting 15 grams of protein. You're getting only 96 calories, and you're getting less than 2 carbohydrates. So now if you're on a weight loss journey, that's a good protein powder. If you're on I'm going to run the next Ironman, you're going to need more carbs, okay? So when you look and compare for people, it's 2 flavors. It's vanilla and chocolate. Now, chocolate tastes like brownie batter. Not bad there. So chocolate tastes like brownie batter, and you can add anything you want to it. So if I'm going to use it like a meal, I'm going to want more than 96 calories. If I'm going to use it like a snack so that I can eat it on my way home from work, then I'm not going to be so hungry for dinner, then that's 96 calories. Perfect. Okay, simple. That's part of the weight loss products, because a lot of the times what you're running into is you're eating too much because you're not eating enough or often enough. All right, so let's talk pain. I'm going to finish up what we're talking about with products with pain products. So you know someone in pain, right? Everybody does. Back pain, that disease that I can't talk about, that their pain is all over, right? Joint pain, a lot of neuropathy pain from having blood sugar problems. Weight, every pound of extra body fat you have on your body is 4 pounds of additional pressure on your joints. All right, so lots of pain. And this is actually we have a lot of physical therapy therapists on our team, because this is incredible. So let me tell you, this is a topical. What makes it special is that it's not oily, and it's not stinky, and it's not going to stain your clothes. So, you know, if you get a massage at lunch, you're not going to go back to work with like the stainy, gross stuff. If you're working, you don't want to have slick all over your hands. You can't do it. You know, you can't do a touch screen. So that is your that is the fast relief. It is incredible. And if you have that, Kim, we'll pass that around. If you end up having that, we can grab that real quick. So that's your fast relief. So if you're a researcher about natural ingredients for pain, then you have run across the green lip mussel from New Zealand. Those New Zealand, right? They know, they got their stuff going on. So this has in it a concentrated amount of the green lip mussel, and it is called Eterol. It also has in it, and I'm just going to walk through a couple ingredients, but you're going to know these. Turmeric, okay, bee pollen. It also has in it MSM. So you've got basic ingredients, bromelain. They're breaking down inflammation. So I will tell you that I had a gentleman, I was in Medford, and he's a bull rider. And so they don't have feeling in their hands, because when they're a bull rider, you cut that off, right? So he tried it. He walked to the other side of the room, and he began yelling at me because he could feel tingling in his hands for the first time since 1984. And it was crazy, but it was just from the topical. So if you're a person that has a lot of inflammation and you've got other things going on in your body, then you need to attack it from within, and that's where you're gonna use the capsule. My husband is a wildland firefighter, and he had knee surgery twice. He's had both knees, and this last time he was not getting ahead of the pain, and he was taking huge amounts of the 800 milligrams of ibuprofen. So what is that doing? It's making his stomach bleed, right? So he started using the cream. The cream, not the capsule. That's okay. Oh, okay. Open up for me, please. No worries, I miscommunicated, I'm sorry. The capsules, if you look at the bottle, it'll tell you to take 2. But what he does, and I can tell you from a testimonial standpoint, is he takes 2 in the morning. It cuts the pain. If he knows he's in his office all day, or if he's going to be hiking up a mountain, he'll take 2 more at lunch. And if he knows he's been doing that all day, he'll take 2 more when he goes to bed. And he has no other medication to need at all now because of the fast release. Now, you go ahead and mess with that. You want to make that work? Thank you. And make that work is like directions for please make it pop. So if you have that nerve damage, then go towards nerve health. And Charmin, who came with me from Oregon, we were discussing how the plantar fasciitis and some other things in her feet, how that is gone from nerve health alone. And so nerve health actually has a combination, and you'll know these. There's horse chestnut in there, and there's also bromelain, and there's high amounts of vitamin B, B like boy, and that is going to nourish that area so that the blood can get back to that area to help your body to heal. Now, when I was in school a million years ago, this is why you're doing it, not me, because it's like that. And so you learned that nerves don't regenerate. Well, nerves don't regenerate, but the body can find new pathways, okay? And it will help with that pain. Did you make it work? All right, so because it has muscle in it, if you're allergic to shellfish, then don't try it. But if you're not, okay, give it a tiny amount and feel it, smell it, feel it. You know, it's got a neck thing going on. Now, if you have to leave the room with it to get to your owie spot, that's okay. All right. We had a lady do that. She's like, I had to get to my hips. And I go, oh, nobody else. So you can go ahead and pass that around. But that's the fast release. And fast release was actually designed by a doctor. All of our products were designed by doctors, but fast release was a gentleman in Arizona who was sick and tired of prescribing narcotics. And he designed it so that he could get away from that, okay? So you can try a little bit. Doesn't it feel nice? It's cool. Yeah, it's really simple. So, all right. So rub that on wherever you want to. And then those are the basic products. So let me just tell you how you can get them. And then what I would encourage you to do is don't leave until you get your questions answered. What I do know is I would tell you, I would really have sit on your heart is think about, you know, what if, right? You're going to hear a couple stories, and I want to encourage you to know that this is a company that is barely in California. We're barely in Washington. We're barely in Oregon. Where we blew up was in the southern states. And so this area is desperately in need of more ambassadors. It's part of why they pay so well is because they want us to bring in more people. It's part of why, you know, I have a company, Plexus, and they give me a new one every 2 years. That's mine. They give me the money. Now, if you've been in another company, they don't take it away. So it's not like I'm going to have to start paying a payment. That's my Lexus. If you've ever paid for a Lexus, that bad boy is expensive, okay? And it would not be my go-to car, but it is an amazing vehicle. I think it drove itself all the way down. The little lady talked to me on it. It was lovely. And then the heat, you know, the heated seat and the air-conditioned seat. Oh, it's lovely. I love the air-conditioned seat. I know. Who'd have thunk? Everybody's got a heated seat, but do you have an air-conditioned seat? And so, and the same thing with Maui. Every year they send us to Maui. It's not a qualify. I go to Maui every year with my husband, and we take our kids this year. I don't know if I want to do that, but he does. So that's part of that. Did you put it on your feet? How's it feel? Okay. Yeah? Okay, you started. How's the people in the front? Feel good? Yeah? Smell it. It's not that stinky, weird, icky, mentholy smell. And then feel that, the oily feel. There's nothing. I love that. I love that. We have a local company in Oregon that has a wonderful product, but it's oily. And I don't like that. I want something that's like grease-free and it's aloe-based and it goes in, okay? Are you trying to tell me something? You just... Oh, because I skipped it. Wow. Because anybody can be an Emerald Ambassador. Okay. This is like the most important thing, and I skipped right over it. I know, it's my favorite, and it's the most important. See? Anybody can do this. You too can have a six-figure income. It's like a monkey. I have no clue what I'm talking about. All right, so I'm really glad you asked, that person asked. But here's the thing with these. These are super, super important. So we carry what's called a triplex, and it is your Slim, your BioCleanse, and your ProBio 5. So just to tell you some brief information on that, but I will tell you that the ProBio 5, so you've all heard of probiotics, right? Everybody. I actually do events in Oregon where they haven't ever heard of probiotics. It's kind of cool for me because I get to educate. But when you take a probiotic, whether it's refrigerated or not refrigerated. The goal of a probiotic is that it's supposed to you give your body all the good bacteria it needs, okay? So why do we have to constantly do this? Well, we don't live in a society in America where we eat things that we need to, that are living real foods, like kimchi and kefir and, you know, kombucha. And we don't eat fermented foods here. We don't eat real sauerkraut. We eat vinegar sauerkraut, and that's not giving your body the gut flora that it needs. So when you were born with absolutely no gut flora. What you were born with was yeast in your large intestine, because when you die, it's meant to break you down. So what does yeast do to the body? It breaks it down. So it causes pain and brain fog and skin issues and bloating, gas, diarrhea. It also causes the body, that negative yeast also causes the body to create in itself a biofilm, and it stops the body from healing. It stops the body from losing weight. It stops your body from being able to absorb its nutrition properly. So when you take a probiotic, and I am a probiotic snob. I have access to the $100 probiotic with all the right words, right, that nobody can pronounce, right? I took those, and I was like, I am not taking your $29 probiotic, because I got this. And then I ran out, and then I tried it, and I watched my team members run out and then try it to their little local grocery store or a really nice natural food store. And here's why. This is the most incredible product I have ever seen. For a probiotic, if you're not taking it, you're ridiculous. You've got to get on this. If you know about it and you're not taking it, you've got to get on this. Because there's 3 things in this product. You're not talking just probiotics. So there's really only 2 main probiotic strains that have great research. If you're a research person, I'm a research person. But I want you to realize that if you don't feel good, no amount of research anywhere can tell you there's nothing wrong with you. You don't feel good. If you feel better, there may not be a reason that some double-blind study, right? And so a lot of times with supplements, we go, oh, it doesn't have research. Really? Because I feel better. I'm nicer, and my man will never let me stop taking Slim because I'm pleasant. And those were ugly days, okay? And so that balancing of those hormones and the hot flashes and the PMS, it's like, how do you have hot flashes and PMS? How does that happen? You know, it's like snow in a thunderstorm. I mean, it was ugly. And so the probio is going to start in the gut. So what it has in there is it has your lactobacillus and it has your bifidobacterium, okay? So you'll see that right on the back. But it also has an enzyme in it. And if you're having issues with yeast is a special little bugger, and it has a hard ball, and it's like a octopus, and you can't kill it with just, you know, diet, and you can starve it, and you take some probiotics so they'll overcome it. It doesn't work like that. Yeast actually goes deep into the body. And so if you can have a product that has good bacteria to repopulate, an enzyme that will crack it, and an antifungal, so it'll kill it. So I can't say that that's what's going to happen, but I can tell you it has all the ingredients that you're looking for. So there's 3 things in there. And in our household, we have seen amazing changes in, I have 2 adults and I have 2 children, and we have seen amazing changes. But I will tell you, what blows me away is that when you add oxygenation to that system of yours, your energy goes up. Your stool patterns are proper. If you're not going to the bathroom at least once a day, you're constipated. You're constipated. It can't be once a week. It can't be every other day. It can't be every 3rd day. It can't. Now, 2 is really more optimum, especially if you're on a plant-based diet, you'll start finding yourself doing that. But BioCleanse has magnesium in it. And if you read the back, it'll tell you that taking it with a big glass of water, because it's meant to oxygenate the body. But it has magnesium in it, but it also has in it that oxygenation factor, so you're more energized. Now, if you will make a note for me to talk about those together, that would be lovely. But they're meant to be, just follow the directions on it. It says take 2. So when do you take probiotics? Well, you take probiotics at night because your system is slower. But if you're taking a probiotic from another company, and it might say on there, take with food or take on an empty stomach, you should follow those directions because it might have a coating on it for a reason. It might have an encapsulation on it. It might have something. And so, but typically take them at night, okay? And then this is the BioCleanse. So that's basically how those work. But from a weight loss standpoint, I want you to walk through this with me, okay? This is why this is so important. So just bear with me and give me some grace on this because this is really important. People say to me, I lost a couple pounds and then I stopped. I lost no pounds, but I've lost inches. I've had great energy, but I've not lost any weight. Well, I can be really kind of frank with you and maybe kind of rude because I don't live here and it's okay because I'm gonna go home. But you did not put that extra 20 pounds on your behind in 1 month. What part of you thinks you're gonna lose it in 1 month? I like that. I'd like that too. But it took me a long time. That extra 20 I put on my body was that was old weight. I was almost 200 pounds when I started this journey. Yeah, and I'm 5'4". No, I'm lying to you. I'm 5'3". So I was almost 200 pounds, and diet and exercise alone is the only thing I did. And I believe that. I believe your diet should be in place. I believe that your exercise should be in place. But if I'd have had phlegm back then, when I was trying to eat a half a pound of hot tamales between here and the end of the road, if I'd have had some Probio 5 and if I'd have had some phlegm, I wouldn't have had to make myself eat better and get out the door for a walk. And it was hard. So I would just say to you, think about your gut. You got to think about it because over 70% of your immune system is in your gut. And it's sitting on it. It's called Peyer's patches. You don't care, but I'm a geek about a gut. And so it's important. So if you're craving sugar or salt, that's a craving. So the Slim is designed to help balance that. And you're finding yourself not wanting to eat as much junk. And right, you're saying yes. Is that true? What are you finding?
I find a lot of things that I'm eating, and all of a sudden I'm full and I have to put it down.
Yep.
I find the sugar, like we had parties today at school, I don't want to eat that. You know, I'll have strawberries or,
yep.
Yeah.
Slim Malone? Slim Malone. That was me. I didn't do anything else for months.
Yeah, but
You're going to go here. So let me kind of explain this in like a wheel. So the Slim puts into the spoke like a stop. It makes you have that. You're not as hungry for it. You're not as interested.
I kind of have to remind myself to eat, and that's not good because I do type 2 diabetes. But I forgot I didn't eat my granola bar and my peanuts or my yogurt and my fruit and my nuts, or if I have to go do that.
Okay, that is because you're not doing this. See, I didn't have high blood sugars. I had every afternoon low blood sugars. So when this was brought to me and I said, I don't have problems with my blood sugar. I don't need that. But every afternoon, I needed that Starbucks green tea. Sugar-free, but I need that caffeine, okay? And I don't anymore. So actually, I probably should start sending a check to Plexus because they're saving me money. Okay, don't tell them that. That's the Slim. So when you add to that, now who's taking the BioCleanse? Taking the BioCleanse. Okay, taking Probio 5? Taking Probio 5. Okay, so Probio 5 is huge because when you add that part of it, and that yeast is like, I gotta have it. And if you've had high blood sugars, you have high yeasts in your body. And so when you break it, right, you broke the system, it's like that wheel, you put that stopper in the wheel, and then you're not craving it as much, you're feeling better, and then you have better energy, and this is helping your stool patterns, you're flowing better, you're getting rid of the junk because you're doing that. And if you have great, you're like, every day I go to the bathroom, it's not an issue. That's my husband's like, I don't need BioCleanse. Every morning I go to the bathroom, same time. And so he wouldn't take it. Well, then he started taking it, and that you know, yeah, I feel like a beer. Oh yeah, I feel like a glass of wine. It went away because it was helping that Probio 5 do its job. And then the sugars were going down in his body, and he wasn't having that. Oh, that sounds good. I went to Voodoo Donuts in Oregon, walked in, said, yep, smells good, walked out. I mean, it was like, I showed some friends. I'm like, yeah, that's Voodoo Donuts. Aren't those cool? I was that person that would have been like, I'm going to take 2. And then we'd leave, and I'd have them in my car, and I'd be driving home by myself, And I'd be like, just a little, oh, maybe more, right? Because I had so much yeast build up in my body. And the Slim, amazing. But then adding those two, it's huge, okay? Christine is from Vegas, and Christine is, drove over also. Christine, will you come up and talk about your hands real quick? Because I can't talk about yeast in a way that she can because she's not promoting the product, and the FDA won't care. Hi, Beth.
Hello.
All right.
For being late.
All right. Will you tell them the brief version of your hand journey?
Yes. So I've had 3 children, and the youngest one is about 17 months old. This last pregnancy kind of included a whole lot more antibiotics, which I didn't realize the importance of until I had some crazy cracked, bleeding, itchy, hot mess of hands. And I work with my hands as an athletic trainer with professional athletes, so I'm touching, I'm rubbing, I'm in and out of gloves, washing constantly, and I couldn't get on top of it for anything. And Aimée and I had worked together for about 5 years previously, trying to get the diet in check and going down the road of yeast and the greens and the plant-based and
all my juju,
all the sugars, and it was juju, and it was
I couldn't help her,
and we couldn't get past it. And so finally she had posted something on Facebook, you know, sugar cravings and addiction and all this. And I'm pretty healthy. I'm relatively small. I don't struggle with my weight, but man, I was craving sugar worse than I ever had before. And I'm struggling with nursing for the first time ever. Looked into it, read up on it, started the product. And within probably the first 3 to 4 weeks of Slim, probiotics, and the BioCleanse, my sugars were down. My hands were starting to calm down. I added the moisturizer,
the body cream.
Finally had some redness go away, and I started healing. And I'm going to have pictures before and after in a matter of 3 days of what these 3 to 4 products did for me. And it's been a journey. It's taken me probably a good 6 months to really get over the sugar craving, get my body healed truly from the inside out. And it's taken some detoxing and, you know, bumps in the road, but I finally have clean, clear, no redness, up until this past week where I really fell off.
But you went to Puerto Rico and probably didn't eat like you should.
And I didn't drink like I should. I mean, I fell off the wagon, and I pushed my body past its point and have had little micro flares, I'll call them, little fires over here and little ones over there, that getting back home, I can already see them calming down and starting to heal. So
you still have a lot of deep yeast going on, but it's nothing near. Let me see your hands. Okay, so when I saw her last year, I mean, she just has hands. She had cracks that were bleeding that nothing would help. And a lot of you know somebody that has that issue, but do you realize that's yeast? That's yeast. Charmin, thank you.
Yep.
Charmin had the same thing. Can you briefly also tell about your feet? You don't have to come up. If you want to stay there, you can. It's up to you. Okay.
I actually have feet that I would not look at. Because my heel would crack and bleed, and I had horrible pain, and I was actually literally the summer put duct tape on my heels to hold them together so that I could go camping and run my football and not have my feet bleed. And I didn't even realize when I started thinking about what it was, but 20, 30 years ago, I remember all of them. I went to the doctor and said, "Who is that? We did have the feet." He said, "Oh, you have an internal hereditary thing, and you're going to have to deal with it your whole life." So I have struggled with my feet my entire life. And I was sitting there the other day, or 6 months ago, my mom goes, "Hey, when you start this probiotic, take a picture of your feet." And I looked the other day, and I went down and looked, and I have the crack, and my feet are clean. And I'm wearing sandals. And my husband is like, "Whoa, it's amazing. I am so grateful. My feet don't hurt." And I am so excited about all my cute sandals that I get to wear. I don't have to wear every day. Okay.
Yeah. And so how many pounds? How many pounds have you lost?
I lost 11 pounds, but I lost 42 inches.
42 inches and only 11 pounds. So this is where I would say to you, do not give up before your journey is complete. Because we have this idea that we should lose all this weight really fast, but your inches come off faster. And you're a perfect example of that. And again, thin, athletic, no need to lose a single ounce. Have you lost any weight, Christine? None. And you've been using the product almost a year. Yep. Yep. If your body doesn't need to, it won't. Okay. So, and then I know we're going to hear one last testimonial, and we're going to hear from you in just a second. Do you want to speak to the business side of it, since you've been around such a short amount of time, and most of the ambassadors in the room they're not. They haven't been around very long. And I'm going to tell you how much this is, and then we want to hear from you. I'm pointing at you. Okay.
My name is Charmin Shields, and I'm also an independent ambassador with Plexus Worldwide, and I started in July. My husband and I decided a year ago that I was going to be a stay-at-home mom, and I homeschool. We have a 7-year-old son. I have a 27-year-old son, a 20-year-old son, and a 7-year-old son. He had to quit his job because if I'm going to stay home, he's going to make more money. And he did. And he went back to a job that he absolutely hates so that he could make more money to support us. And we don't live huge lives. And I got a part-time job at our school washing dishes because I'm like, I can bring in a little extra money and help. I actually am quitting. Next week is my very last week. Since July, I make twice as much in a month selling Plexus, which is amazing to watch people get well. It means so much. My daddy doesn't suffer from acid reflux issues anymore, and I'm so grateful. So, sorry, don't mean to get emotional. But I compared my 1099 and my W-2, working all year at the school and working 6 months, well, not even 6 months in Plexus. I made almost identical amount of money, and I only work part-time. But I'm telling you, it's easy to go out and tell people, you don't have to feel like that anymore. You don't have to struggle there anymore. It's easy. So
yeah, I know. Now, same thing. You were a $500 difference between. I don't even know how many degrees you have. I think you have more degrees than I do. But same thing, $500 difference, and not barely working your business. No, I'm not digging on you, but you know. All right, I know. I love it. Oh,
I live in a town of 500 people, and I live between 2 ranches.
Oh my gosh, we've been driving here, and we're like freaking out. There's so many people here. We're like, oh my gosh, hi, you're limping, hi, because of all these people. And where we come from, we're like, there's like us, and we're like, hey, cow, you need fast release cream, And so we're like, how are you cracking and bleeding? We got nothing. We come down here, like, oh my gosh, you guys, if you don't do it, someone else is. I'm going to drive 13 hours. So I know. Oh, thank you. All right. So let me tell you real quick how you can get this, and we'll end with you. That I keep pointing at because I know your story is going to make me cry. But here's the thing with Plexus. So you get 3 ways. We don't need to recruit you. I frankly don't care if you ever become an ambassador. I truly don't, because there's 1,400 people on my team. I'm literally driving down here getting phone calls. Hey, I need to recruit. Hey, I really want that check that you have. I mean, it's just, oh, I want my product to cost because I have 3 friends. And it's like, I've been in other network marketing companies where I'm like, please, I just need one more. And you're lying to them to get them to an event. I mean, just making things up. That was me, at least. That's what I was doing. And then you get this check that's like 2 cents. Now, you have to be like really trying hard not to get a check in Plexus. Like really trying hard. You have to be dead. Because you do your little $100 a month, and that's it. And then they pay you. And then, it's just ridiculous. So you get checks, and you go, why am I getting paid? I'm like, I don't know. I started singing that song, Take the Money and Run, because I didn't know why. But the Slim comes 3 ways. So you can get it preferred, you can get it retail, and you can get it wholesale. Now, I don't like retail. It's not my favorite, because who goes to get anything? I don't pay full price for a car. I don't pay full price for a dress. I just don't. I haggle. I like to go to Mexico because I like that haggle. So $84.95. So you're talking $2.35-ish a day. Now, if I'm not eating the chips anymore, and I'm not going to Starbucks anymore, and I'm not paying for all these other supplements anymore, then I'm saving money. So $84.95. It's one time. You get 60 days. You don't love it for whatever reason, then send it back. They give you your money right back. It's not hard to do, okay? And I have some clients that have sent it back and then got their money, and then a couple months later come back and go, well, I really did feel better. I'm like, okay, we'll welcome you back. I'll only talk about you at my next event. It's okay. You can get preferred. Now, how you know when you order something and you get it auto shipped to you? I'm busy, and y'all are busy. I like things to just show up on my doorstep because I've run out, and it's not fun for me because by the third or fourth day, I'm craving things. And so I love to just get it to auto ship. So that's $79.95. You get it auto ship, you can cut it off anytime. You can add products to it, you can take things away from it, but it comes to you preferred. That is my favorite way to get product. And then you'll know, give us 60 days. You don't love it, keep the package, send it back, okay? Now, the other way is wholesale. Now, I only pay $69.95. So I told you there's only one thing you gotta do is $100 a month. So if I'm paying $69.95 and I'm using Probio 5 and Fast Relief, and my husband's eating a bottle of Fast Relief a month, and I'm using the body cream on my daughter, so we're personally never having an issue with 100. When we started, it was my man and myself, and we just did our, 2. So anything over 100, they're going to pay you commission. So they were paying me to get healthy. It was a joke, but it was helpful because once I started needing new clothes, I had a paycheck to pay for new clothes. And so that's how that works. It's $34.95. It's less than Costco. And then from there, this was not my intent to have a career change. I had no desire to close my practice doors. That was not my intent. So what has happened is that it has now replaced my income. It's replaced my husband's income. It's paying for our children to actually have the care they need. I have one child with a learning disability, and so she has a hired teacher in a homeschool situation. I have another one going to a private school because our schools aren't all that fabulous. And so that's what this pays for. It's real life, okay? But honestly, I've never sold it. If you don't love it, sweetheart, don't buy it. I don't care because I know that 1 in 3 people in the United States has diabetes, and I know that the other 2 are probably some serious pain going on. So I don't care if you ever use the Slim, but you need to look at the pain products, you need to look at the Slim, you need to look at the BioCleanse, and your Probio 5, because that's where the root of your challenges are coming from. Your body's like a tree, and it's a little bit of this drug and a little bit of that drug, but the core of the issue comes from the gut, okay? And you don't have to believe me, you can look it up, and then you'll have to call me and say I was right, and I'll try not to gloat, okay? But we started as a syrup, and it was for diabetics. And the diabetics came back, the pre-diabetics, the diabetics 1s and 2s and 3s, they came back and said all these things. And so we started as a syrup. And what it has become is a easy to work with crystal, okay? And you, sir, I have just, you're blowing me away. So can you tell your story? I would love to hear this because I just, I know. I should have, record you. Just the story. Tell her, who are you?
My name is John, and I'm a friend of all.
You were the guinea pig. Here, come down here. Come down here so you can be, in the zone. So you were the guinea pig, right? You were one of the first guinea pigs?
Yes. And I have to be honest with you, I did not know any of this.
No.
That you taught tonight.
Oh.
What I do know is I have a wife that researches everything. And when she asks me to do something, I do it.
That's a good man. You're smart.
I've never been slim. My mother-in-law was wearing it for 30 years. She knows I've never been slim, but I've always been presentable. The last couple of years, I got carried away and was gaining weight. So I got up to 319 pounds. And that was embarrassing to me, not only for me, but for my family. So I had, my knees were real bad. So in August, I had a total knee replacement. And before the surgery, you have to go in and get a checkup. Well, my blood sugar was at 6.0, which is about a butterfinger away from diabetes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my blood pressure was 140 over 80 in there. And then I had to have surgery. Now I won't be able to move. Well, what's going to happen next? So I had the surgery, and in October, I think it was October, Gyneve shared with my wife this product. And my wife asked me to do this. So I'll be honest, I take the Slim every morning with 2 accelerators.
Accelerator Plus, okay.
And the Fast Relief because of joint pain and whatnot.
The capsule?
The capsule.
Okay.
The blocker, for some reason, I can't get into the groove. I just forget to do it. So I'm not religious about that as I am with the product. But I started in October. I was 46 weight. These are 40. if I loosen my belt, they fall right down. I was a triple X, type triple X. This is double X, and you can see it's loose. My blood sugar went down to 3.8. My blood pressure is around 120, 124 over 772. My weight this morning was 250 pounds.
Oh my God.
I started at 29. So
How you feel?
I feel great. I feel great. I'm excited about it. I can't wait. I got to get into the blocker because I can only imagine what happens. My goal is 200 pounds by the end of the year, and I'm fully confident.
Have you started working out?
I started, thank you. I never went to a gym because I was too embarrassed to go to the gym because everybody's good looking at the gym. But February 2nd, right after the Super Bowl, I started a gym. I do 12 miles a day, and I do a full regimen of weight.
Could you have done that before?
No.
How's your energy?
My energy is great.
How you sleeping?
I sleep everything is just, it's amazing. What it's done for me.
Were you on a
feel
CPAP?
blessed.
Were you on a CPAP?
Thank you again. I was not only on CPAP, I was on a BiPAP, where it doesn't just put the air in, it also takes it out. Now imagine how romantic that could be, sleeping next to Darth Vader.
Oh, baby.
I could not go out like this. Our boys are grown and they're just about all gone, and so now is our time.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted to start living and enjoying my wife. She's always been beautiful, slim, and my boys the same. I've always been the only one with a weight problem. I'm no longer on the BiPAP machine. I've been off of that for close to 3 months now.
You got your marriage.
And thank you. And I sleep wonderful. I don't snore anymore, which was I can't imagine what she put up with my snoring. But she was always there. Like I said, she asked me to do this, and I do what she asked, and this is where I'm at today.
Is it something you could do forever?
Oh, absolutely.
Simple enough.
I get up in the morning, first thing I drink the drink, I take the accelerator, I wait a half hour, I have my breakfast, which is usually oatmeal, or I'll have bowl cereal and toast with a little butter. And I'm not hungry again until probably around 4 o'clock, but I know you need to eat something, so I'll have an apple or some sort of fruit that I could never eat fruit before, you know this. And then we'll have dinner around, 5 or 6, and I'm good to go.
Why couldn't you eat fruit?
Well, to say the truth, it made my mouth itch. Apples, watermelon made me nauseous. Automatically.
Type that up.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why.
That was the big thing. It made my mouth itch. So, and I was never a big fan of fruit.
No.
I love salad with a gallon of Thousand Islands on it.
Do you crave different now?
I don't have any cravings now.
Oh my gosh. So what was your vice? Like, were you snacker boy? Like, what happened?
Oh, this double chubby chuck burger with chili and cheese.
Wow. I don't even know what that is. Oh my God. You don't crave it? Is it hard?
No, I don't crave it. We drove down today to come here. I live up north, about 400 miles up north. So my son and I came down. On the way, he had to go through In-N-Out Burger. I'm good. He had to go through Taco Bell. I'm good. I had my breakfast, and then I had a piece of fruit on the way down.
Not
of
hard.
course, they're all pretty proud. So,
Thank you.
and so it's like I said, I take 3 products, and I'm excited to try these other things. And if you want to be healthy and lose weight and inches, just try the things.
There it is. Is your ring too big? Is your ring too big? Is your ring too big now? His wedding ring's too big now.
I wear it on my neck.
Did you take pictures of yourself?
The pictures are on the flyer.
Okay. And you measured? Did you draw your measurements?
I don't do it. My wife does all.
Oh, yeah.
I just, like I said, I do what she asked me to do. Blindly and amazingly it all.
There it is.
So,
all right.
I went down 67 pounds today, 6 pant sizes, 2 shirt sizes. And like I said, the scariest thing was being, close to pre-diabetic.
Were you on other meds? Were you on meds for blood pressures and
no, I never.
No other meds?
I never took care of myself, to be honest, until now.
Okay. So really, you could have been on those other things
Oh,
if
absolutely.
you'd have been tracking things. Okay. And then now coming off. So the beauty of that is you're probably not going to have the damage from those other things and then have to get off of it.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying not taking care of yourself is right.
No, I wouldn't recommend that. But I had this knee total replacement. I'm not just surgery, but I had this knee totally replaced December 29th. And like I said, I do 12 miles a day, no pain,
Oh,
a few pops here and there. That's the way it is.
love it. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. All right. So, okay, don't leave till you get your questions answered. I need to shut off the feed, and don't worry, there's nothing that's going to be said that you're all going to miss out on, but thank you. Thank you, and thank you, you guys. Thank you. Can you shut that off for me?
Bye, guys. Yeah.